So I took the challenge on Sunday afternoon and built a LinkedIn profile analyzer that I literally launched same day within like 3 hours. I called it Profile Boost. It's Daily Profile Boost. You'll find it in my LinkedIn feed. It's still in beta, but you go to I've posted it every day and say, hey, pop your LinkedIn and see your score.
And she just raised $100 million, everybody. Yeah. She's the latest unicorn in our space. Sorry.
Valuation $20 billion.
Come on, just slam an iron brew and let's do this, boys.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hey, boys and girls. It's the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Alligator Alcatraz Cheeseman.
This is Chad England. Here we come, Sowash.
And I'm JT. I'm on vacation, O'Donnell.
And on this episode, Indeed applies to be your job overlord. Ooh. Agents are a thing, and layoffs. Let's do this.
Layoffs?
Hospitality is the heart of our society. It brings people together to share great food, drinks, and experiences. But successfully managing a restaurant or hotel is no easy feat. That's where Harry comes in. Harry is the frontline employee experience platform that helps you build, manage, and engage great teams. With Harry, managers can easily find and hire top talent, manage timekeeping, and communicate with employees at any time from any place. Candidates and team members can quickly and efficiently apply for jobs, swap shifts, and access important information entirely from their mobile devices. And Harry's robust employee engagement tools make team members feel more connected than ever. With Harry, as an owner or operator, you get a bird's eye view of your business, from turnover cost, labor cost, employee sentiment, compliance risk, and team performance. Run your business better by understanding the power of your people. Because when your team is the heart of your business, Harry is the heartbeat. See how it transforms your business.
So what'd you guys do for Canada Day? Did you have some poutine and some ketchup chips?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know. I love poutine though. Oh, I mean, gravy, cheese, good. Like fries.
On fries. Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Fries, gravy, cheese.
Well done, Canada.
Yeah, hard to do. A lot of Americans have no idea, but Canada Day, July 1st. It gets overshadowed by the 4th of July, obviously, but we have a lot of sponsors are Canadian. We love everything Canadian on the show. It was not a revolution. There wasn't a war. They signed some papers, I think. It was pretty polite, but they got their independence and they celebrate it on July 1st. So happy Canada Day.
Nice. Much like Portugal, they call it the Carnation Revolution because there was no war. It was all just peaceful transfer of power. Nice. Yeah. From years of being a theocracy. That's fucking fun.
I learned so much about history on this show with you boys.
And jerseys. Look, my new jersey.
For a history lesson.
That's right. There's a reason we have that soundbite on this show. There's a reason. Chad, you got a new soccer jersey on, or should I say football?
It's pretty.
That is pretty.
Sporting, yeah. They won the Portuguese league for last 2 years in a row. So yeah. I will be sporting. Get it? The Portuguese national jersey on stage at Wreckfest. New one, sexy. Oh, it's sexy.
Nice. Which we will get to in events, yes. But JT's we're only thing standing between her and vacation, I think. So let's get to some shout outs. I'll go ahead and go first, guys. Okay. You probably know Lars Schmidt. A lot of our listeners will know Lars. He's quite the icon in the industry. Anyway. He recently shut down his podcast, a lot of things that he was doing, social media and whatnot,
focus,
which I thought was really interesting. So he recently launched a clothing store line, online platform, and I'm wearing one of his shirts.
Nice.
It's a lightning bolt because I'm I'm hot and cool like that, Chad. I gotta wear the lightning bolt. But it's called Joy Syndicate. Good on him. I know a lot of people in our industry sort of get stuck in recruiting and doing what they do. And shout out to Lars for getting outside the box. He is still head of talent at a company called Fruitist. So he's still doing that, but good on him. He's had this idea for like 20 years. Finally did it. It's joy-syndicate.com. Go get a shirt, get a bucket hat, bags, or maybe merce, depending on, who you're shopping for.
You need a merce.
I do need a merce. A bum bag, I think, is what you call it in Europe. I'm going to maybe bring that to Germany this weekend. So anyway, shout out Lars, man. Keep doing what you do. Hopefully you're not going to disappear from the landscape. We'd love to see you in an event coming soon. Don't disappear totally.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a shout out to AI app building. So I came across this app that said you can take any idea you have and talk to us and we'll build you the app. So I took the challenge on Sunday afternoon and built a LinkedIn profile analyzer that I literally launched same day within like 3 hours. And we know AI is coming, but to interact with AI like that, the way I did, and to build something that I could go out and immediately give value to people, it tells you, like, rates your profile, tells you out of the 4 areas what to fix.
What's the name of it?
I called it Profile Boost. It's Work It Daily Profile Boost. You'll find it in my LinkedIn feed. It's still in beta, but you go to I've posted it every day and say, hey, pop your LinkedIn and see your score.
And she just raised $100 million, everybody. Yeah. She's the latest unicorn in our space. Sorry.
Right? Valuation $20 billion.
But, it cost me $60. So, like, it would have taken a team of 100 developers. And you know what I mean? When you think about that, for someone like me to sit on my couch and be like, okay, fix this, do this.
What service did you use?
The app is called Replit. I'm not sponsored by them in any way,
Replit,
folks. It's just somebody just said, hey, it works. And I went, sure, it does. Like, this is what I really need, because I get asked every day, how do I fix my LinkedIn profile? And it's like, Chief, I could just have the app for that, Boom, I have the app for that. So folks, do not underestimate what you can build with AI these days.
That's right. Well, since JT's on vacation and she still showed up, which I appreciate that, JT, because Joel doesn't do that. I'm just going to go straight into free stuff. I'm going to give you some time off this week. You don't have to do free stuff. One of the reasons why is because we have new T-shirts. We have new T-shirts. They're Dr. Feelgood Motley Crue, Chad Cheese T-shirts.
Inspired. Yep.
Very inspired. Going to be at Nebworth. We'll talk a little bit about that. But free stuff, go to chadcheese.com/free, where you could prospectively win those T-shirts, gorgeous T-shirts, from our friends over at Aaron App. Whiskey, 2 bottles of chicken cock. That's right. One cock for each hand. The talent experts over at Van Hack. That's right. In Canada.
Headquartered in Vancouver. That's right. One of our proud Canadian.
We got more Canadians. We got bourbon barrel aged syrup by our friends at Kiora, also sponsors of Shoutouts, texting made simple. Craft beer, the job data geeks over at Aspen Tech Labs. That's right. You get a box of beer on your doorstep. Joel Cheeseman will deliver it himself. And if it's your birthday,
make sure you have snacks. Make sure you have
if it's your birthday, you can win rum from Plum. Got to go to chadcheese.com/free to register.
Right now? I know I can. I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
That's right, guys. Another trip around the sun for listeners. Christina Bacciu, Mark Anderson, Scott Allen, Aaron Kotef. That's right. Aaron, I had.
Who's next? What?
Yes. Aaron Kotef.
There we go.
Done messed up, AA
There we go. All right. Nick Bowers, Jesse Sims, Christine Hampton, Daniela McDonald, Elaine Orler, Bill Fisher, and Michael What a Fool Knows McDonald. That's right.
Happy birthday, everybody.
When I make notes at night, I'm usually about 2 or 3 bourbons deep, and I have all the intention of having little sound bites in these things, and then I mess up in the next day. I forget. I totally forget that I did
Are the shirts coming in Nebworth though? Nebworth. I always put an S in there. I don't know why. My shirt will be there. I will be wearing my shirt because they are very comfy shirts.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they will be at
events. Where are we going, boys?
Well, luckily, Shaker Recruitment Marketing is a sponsor of our travel, where we will be going to, as I'd said, England next week. That's right, RecFest UK and Nebworth, July 10th. If you don't have your tickets already, kids, what are you thinking? Go to recfest.com, go get those tickets. We're going to be on the Disrupt stage with our friend Stephen, our favorite Scott McGrath. JT's going to be there. Mo had to actually eject because she's taking her kids to a Disney inspired or Disney cruise, which actually goes out of Barcelona. I can't hate her for that. But we're also going to have, Emmy's going to have her own stage. We're all going to be there. It's going to be a blast. See you next week at RecFest. Here at the Chad G's podcast, one thing that we love is obviously you watching, but also like and subscribe.
Be on the lookout for a 6'4" teenager that looks sort of like my bodyguard. He will have the t-shirts. So he's on alert and
in a backpack.
Usually very, very friendly.
Can I throw out an
backpack?
Can I throw out an invitation too? I'm so excited to be there, and I'm not on stage. But if there's anybody in the audience that would like to join me in heckling the boys, I ChatGPT'd some pretty fabulous heckles that I think we could, joint do. So just come find me.
Okay? They'll need
front
help.
row, yelling. It'll be
You're
great.
not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
Now we're going to pull JT on stage too, so she can be part of the heckling as well.
I want to heckle.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. See you guys in London.
Topics!
Oh, well, Joel, Indeed has been busy, kids. Healthy budgets enforced. Hyams is out, or he decided to leave. Killing agency XML feeds, forcing them into APIs, focusing on how to force hiring companies to give Indeed's disposition data for their ATS. And then Jim, the Indeed whisperer Durbin, sends us this. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage.
Hi, it's Jim Durbin, the Indeed Whisperer, coming back with yet another story on Indeed as they dropped their shareholder report for the second quarter of 2025. The big news is their new plan to simplify everything and make it faster. Indeed's come out with their plan, which is they think that the global time to fill is 43 days, and they want to, on their own, cut that in half by 2030. When you go through everything that they're pitching, they've decided automation, speed, and Indeed is the center of it all. It explains what's going on with some of the single source feeds being cut, the plans to move into direct staffing and temporary staffing, and a new category called internal automation, which they count as $80 billion, including ATSs and background checks that they're adding into as things they can show how they saved money and did a better job. It's a fascinating change from the world's largest job board and recruitment marketplace. It's decided that they know how they're going to hire, and we're doing it wrong, and we have to change what we're doing. Definitely check out some reading about that. It's going to be a spicy 6 months.
Spicy.
Where was the cowboy hat, Jim?
Next time.
I only know Jim with a hat on.
He's off brand, isn't he? JT
He's
knows.
off brand. That was like kind of buttoned up. Jim.
I love the Indeed whisperer though. He's always on that.
Yes.
I think he's still single. I wonder if he uses that in the bars there in Texas.
God, I hope not. I hope not.
Indeed keeps us busy on this show. That's for sure. I mean, they're not going to get accused of not innovating, at least trying some stuff and innovating in air quotes. Look, I can't hate on them for swinging for the fences. Whether this becomes the new monster type screw up, be known, and it fades away, and they don't have the core competency to pull it off. I guess that's left to be seen. But they are full court. We're going to own the process. We're going to be in your ATS, the background, like all that stuff. They want to own the whole thing. I can't hate on them for that, but I can kind of hate on them for, I guess, the bullying way that they're just saying, we're going to do this and either, get on, follow, or get the hell out of the way or get run over. Yeah. One of the things I found funny was Jim posted this on LinkedIn, and Megan Radigan, a friend of ours over at Marriott, had a quote something like, "It's not a time to be lazy. It's a time to be sort of focused on this." And I thought that's funny because people in general are lazy, and people in HR and talent are lazy as well.
Megan's not.
ultimately, Megan, it's an 80-20 kind of thing. And Megan is in the 20%, but 80% of the people of the companies are going to roll over and they're going to let Indeed do this. And I'm sure whatever PencilNet Geek at Indeed said, look, if we lose 20%, big deal. The money we're going to make on the 80% that agree to do this, we're going to come out on top. There is some historical relevance
history
to this that I wanted to throw in. So Google, back in the day, tried to sort of do a similar thing. They were doing pay-per-click. They launched an analytics solution. They wanted to be in your code. They wanted to know when everything that you sold, how much you made. They wanted a piece of that. They wanted to monitor everything that was going on, which made sense. Because, hey, if you sell $100 pair of shoes, we're going to get 10, right? What happened was all the webmasters, all the companies were like, no, you're not going to do that. We'll pay you for the traffic you give us, but we're not going to let you in and open the kimono and have you control everything. My fear is that Indeed is doing something similar in trying to overtake the process. We'll see if there's a revolt similar to how Google saw a revolt back in the day. But again, I think laziness will rule the day, and 80% of companies will just roll over and let Indeed do this. And I think it'll be successful.
So cutting down time to fill, they don't control. I mean, that's nothing they control. And they're talking about a lot of things that they don't control, which is, it's weird. So to have those expectations over things that you have no control over, like hiring, I mean, they don't hire people. They don't do that. Hiring managers hiring people, right? And if they take 3 additional days or 2 additional weeks, Indeed does not have anything to do with control over that. I jumped into the business report. So on page 40, quote, to achieve the goal of simplifying hiring, which is what Jim was talking about, Recruit believes it is essential to further strengthen the collaboration between all HR-related businesses across the Recruit group and operate them in a unified manner. They're looking to pull these together and call them the HR matching markets. Okay. It goes on to say Recruit aims to leverage the vast amount of data available in each service combined with AI and machine learning technology to simplify the hiring process and deliver greater value, yada, yada, yada. And then on the very next page, additionally, by expanding integrations with ATSs, what does that sound like? Disposition codes. Recruit aims to improve matching by bringing outcome data, disposition, from external applicant tracking systems into the Indeed platform. Okay, so you can easily see that Recruit's wants and needs are going to move everything into the old staffing company cost per hire model. That's what they want to do, which is why they're using Indeed to try and force disposition data from the ATS so badly. This feels like newspapers' attempt to conform job boards into their old newspaper models, forcing column inches on hiring companies and getting a job posting as a gift with purchase or maybe a small upsell. It didn't work. The model died in the same way that cost per hire is an old and tired model. Every recruiting platform today should be focused on getting more revenue. How do you do that? New models. You get every qualified candidate, you get paid for them and you give them what they're asking for, right? We're so used to just loads of candidates, qualified, unqualified. And Megan from Marriott actually said, we got 10 million candidates. The fuck do we need you for? I'm paraphrasing. At the end of the day, last but not least, they kept saying over and over and over, quote, as a leader in the global HR matching market, end quote. Global HR matching market, this is something they literally just made up. This does not exist. We've been talking about matching. There's no market. I mean, it's like they're trying to create all of these things out of thin air. And it's really weird. I do like that they're trying to swing for the fence. I don't like that they're using their powers for evil, and I do, with the bullying. And I don't like that they're trying to force everybody into an old ass model like cost per hire when they could make more money on CPQA or CPQC. That's all I got.
Yeah. So
it's
I
hard
agree
to
with
imagine that they don't see a world. Sorry, JT.
No.
Where it feels like they want a world where someone joins Indeed as a job seeker. They put in their resume, what kind of job they're looking for. And then the Indeed agent just 24/7 applies to jobs based on what they're looking for. And then companies in a similar way say, hey, I need a PHP developer or whatever. And then it creates the job posting. It goes to the same, like it interviews. Like I think they envision a world where agents talk to agents. And a lot of this stuff, you go to Indeed once or twice, and they do the rest for you 24/7.
I agree with that. In fact, so here's the way I look at it: is they've got this house that's very old, that has no more market appeal. Do you raise the house and start over, or do you try to rehab what you have? And so I'm glad that they're trying to swing for something, but it still feels very much, as Chad was talking about, that they're rehabbing as opposed to just building something brand new and improved, which those are strategic business decisions. That's fine. What I truly see and believe is that there will be no resumes. There will be no job boards. You will not apply on a job board anymore. You will get on and talk to a virtual agent that'll ask you questions. And every day you'll go on, kind of like it's like your career therapist. What did you do today? What did you work on? What skills, what technologies did you use? You'll document yourself. It'll all be sitting there. And then when a recruiter needs somebody with that, it'll go out, it'll listen to all that, which is far more comprehensive. And quite frankly, can be far more inclusive if you're looking to switch industries, switch skill sets. You can talk about a lot of things and prove you know something, whereas opposed to your resume is just a history of your past, which is lame. We shouldn't be basing it just on that. So the potential for candidates to just get in there and authenticate themselves, provide the data, provide the evidence all the time, ongoing basis. And the AI can go and find them and match them. You better believe that's coming. I mean, if I learned anything this week in building an app in 4 hours, it is so coming. And so someone's got to do it. The question will become, and this is where I think it's like an arms race. This is really interesting. Is it an Indeed who can push their weight around and has the money and can get through it? Or is there somebody out there right now with 4 people that's going to build the next unicorn? Because they can, right? Like this is
always the question. It's always the question.
It's fascinating.
It feels very paradox when you look at demos of what Indeed is building. Very chatty, very although paradox, it's still a person using the chatbot. In Indeed's world, I think it's agents talking to agents. Robots hiring robots.
So to JT's point, I think she's 100% correct, but there will be assessments and simulations. So when you're talking to the computer, or you're actually using whatever it is, the AI, there will be standardized assessments and simulations that you have to go to prove that you can do those jobs, right? Because I think there's going to be a lot of hallucinating happening on these profiles.
And fraud.
Yeah, well, which are the same thing.
Exactly. But the technology is coming there to authenticate them, to build the constraint, right? So that we know that will be solved for. But both sides want it. Does anybody want to post a job anymore and get 10,000 applicants and then get yelled at because somebody didn't get an interview? No. And does any job seeker want to apply and sit in a black hole and get rejected 6 months later? Like the whole system is just a joke on both sides. So
60% of the time, it works every time.
Guys, did you know we're on YouTube? If you haven't checked us out yet, head out to youtube.com/@ChadCheese and check out our beautiful mugs and attire that we wear that you can't see on the audio version. We'll be right back.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough. But with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
Did somebody say agents? Well, bring on the agents. Jobright, an AI native job platform, just raised $3.2 million in funding to accelerate growth and deepen its AI engine. The platform, already used by over 520,000 professionals, that's per the company, automates job applications and promises to improve the job search experience. If you haven't had enough agency, here we go. Whisk, an agentic HR platform provider, raised $15 million in funding this week too. Chad, your thoughts, or do you just want to have an agent speak for you on the podcast from here on out?
So you've both seen The Accountant with Ben Affleck and The Accountant 2. The Accountant 2 just came out on Amazon. The sequel to the one that just came out, so you can go to Amazon and watch it. Ben Affleck, who is a forensic accountant, a hitman, and he also has Asperger's. He games a dating system algorithm and seems to be the perfect date for every female in the room until they have their face-to-face meetings, right? Needless to say, he bombs every single fucking date, much like tailoring everything about yourself with co-pilots. You can look perfect on screen, but when you show up to the interview, the date, it probably won't go well. So it's kind of like a level of AI catfishing, to be quite frank. That's what Jobright feels like to me. I like the idea of tech helping us be more efficient, but I don't like the eventual, wolf in sheep's clothing impacts that we could prospectively happen by using systems like this. Like it. If we can do agents more like Whisk, where it's more like doing tasks for you as opposed to trying to create this Instagram filter to make me look much more pretty. And I know it's hard than I already am. Come on. Stop the catfishing, kids.
Perfection.
We don't need platforms to catfish.
Mm-hmm. There might be a wee problem, boys.
So I'm on the opposite of this, I think, and I'll let JT be the tiebreaker. There have been many times in my life where I've looked at a technology and I've said, oh yeah, that's a thing that's going to happen, whether it's digital photos, whether it's search, email, streaming video and whatnot. And I just look at this agent shit and I go, this is a thing. Job search sucks. It's time consuming. It's painful. It's depressing. It's ego destroying in many cases. People are going to want to have an agent do the job search for them, do the interview for them 24/7. I don't have to touch it. And then once a day or whatever, I get back, hey, this company's interested. They've done the preliminary interview. Now they want to meet you in person. Like that is something that I can see people wanting to do, whether it's a startup or it's Indeed. Like, I think people want to do, they're sick of being ghosted. They're sick of the black hole. Like, just let a technology do it for me and I'll get on with my life. And similarly with Whisk, I think HR in many ways, they would like to take off the job posting, the sourcing resumes, like all that stuff that is promising through agents. I think that's going to happen too. I don't know who's going to do it. Maybe it's a big player like Indeed. Maybe it's a spunky startup. But agents make too much sense to me. Yeah, I said spunky. And by the way, if you have Ben Affleck on your bingo card, make sure that you snap that. So for me, like, I think it just makes too much sense not to happen. I think agents are going to talk to agents, and people are going to be out of the picture until they absolutely have to be in the picture. That's my take on this. Don't
be confused. I didn't say it wasn't going to happen. I just said that it's going to be more like Ben Affleck, or who looked awesome to all those women until they actually fucking met him.
Yeah, there's going to need to be. I mean, rarely I've ever said that I was going to side with Joel in a situation. Joel, I was like, wait, what? But let me give you some anecdotal evidence on the job seeker side, right? I am seeing a massive surge in people asking about reverse recruiting. This comes up every time in a really bad job market. These slimy companies come out of nowhere and say, pay me and I'll find you a job. I'll get you the job interviews. I'll find you a job. To the point that this week, this is the third time it's happened, somebody is faking me on Fiverr and grabbed all my stuff, claims it's me, and says that for $650, I will reverse recruit for you. So people have been smart enough to come and let me know, and we're shutting it down, right? But when I see this much about reverse recruiting, that just tells you exactly what Joel's saying. They are so done, and everybody wants an agent. Everybody wants to feel like the star, and there's an agent representing me. That's like just human nature. So I'm with him 100%. Who does it? How? It's happening.
Winning.
Yeah, definitely happening.
Well, it's the 80-20 rule that Joel just talked about. It's the 80-20 rule that Joel just talked about. 80% of the motherfuckers out there are lazy. So yeah, of course they would like to have tech do it for them. I don't disagree. I just think that it's not going to come with great outcomes.
Until they do all the things you talked about, work in the assessments, work in the things that validate and prove that somebody's real.
Yep. 100%.
There will be hiccups. Email has spam, and this will have fraud and abuse
Email
and all
still
kinds
has
of other
spam.
shit. Yes, but
still has.
But we
spam.
still use it every day, except my kids, which I make use because I still email my kids. For the record, JT agrees with me. Everybody. All right, let's get to. I don't know. File this one under the no shit Sherlock file. Can we do that? Ford CEO Jim Farley learned from older employees that young workers were taking multiple jobs due to low wages. Inspired by founder Henry Ford's decision to raise factory wages, Farley transitioned temporary workers to full-time positions, providing higher wages, profit sharing, and better health care. This move aimed to attract stable workforce and encourage employees, shockingly, to buy Ford products as a result of getting paid more. Chad, Back to the Future. Your thoughts on Ford's CEO's comment?
Oh my fucking God. I mean, it like you said, no shit, Sherlock. More pay. That's the answer. What a fucking genius that Jim Farley is. Seriously, this is complete and utter bullshit of an epiphany. Of course, employees will be happier. They will be retained easier. And paying your employees means that they might even become customers. That's what Ford understands. How do we not know that already? I mean, that to me just blows my fucking mind. Henry Ford was not being charitable. He wanted to have more Ford cars on the road. And that's the easiest way to get to quicker adoption, right? You do that through your employees. People see them on the road. Oh, I got to have me a Ford. That's how you start adoption, right? It just makes sense. So to be able to pay people, it drives me crazy. Yes. The most amazing bullshit that we have had to endure in our lifetime is the myth that paying people more will just put prices out of reach and tank the economy. It's wrong. California increased fast food worker pay to $15 an hour, minimum wage, and the price of a Big Mac went up cents, not dollars, went up cents. It's good for company morale. It's good for local economies, and it's good for the nation to pay the employees a living wage. I mean, all of this to be an epiphany for a guy who makes hundreds of millions of dollars. He deserves to be fired. Fire that fucker.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Fire him. Ford stock is up 20% year to date, Chad. He's not going anywhere. He's
getting his ass kicked too. I mean,
so a few things on this. The whole commentary from the older workers to the younger, or to him, was that younger workers were working at Amazon, and then they were getting off work and going to Ford and sleeping like 3 to 4 hours a day. Well, no shit, that's an environment that's going to be bad for business. So doing that just made sense. It also makes me question all the unemployment numbers, thinking like, how many people have multiple jobs that are being counted in who knows what kind of ways. So like that was sort of eye-opening to me. The second thing I think that he mentioned that makes a lot of sense is that governments need to get a lot more serious about training people for jobs in manufacturing and this.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
But why?
Apple paid China.
Okay.
$275 billion. Said $275 billion, and Apple trained 28 million employees. But yet they want to go to the government for a handout.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Okay. All right.
But I'm supposed to be Euro Chad. Why are you making me mad?
We both agree that schools need to do more to train people to do trade skills.
It's just where the money comes from. It should be coming from Ford.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. He mentioned Germany, that students are taught in junior high and they're much more skilled than American workers. And then the third thing, I think, the need for a higher minimum wage.
Yes.
We have such a low floor in America that when they get to these jobs, even though it's more, it's from a much lower base. And we need to raise the base so that these jobs become living wages, that you don't just go from, fast food to a manufacturing and you're still not being able to make ends meet. You still have to take extra jobs. So as a country, we need to get our minimum wage up to that $20, $25, $30 range so that these things don't happen. So good, bad, ugly, the Ford news, take it for what you will. But those are three takeaways that I had from the story and his comments.
Yeah, it's so funny. I think if you factor in true underemployment right now, our rate's got to be way up over 8% when you think about it. And for somebody to be doing 2 or 3 jobs, exhausted, the emotional stress, the physical stress, the sickness, like it's just so obvious. Raise the dang rates. Like it's crazy to me, like that they don't see it. So hopefully it's coming. Gig work isn't for everyone too. Shift work and multiple jobs and running around. Like people would just love a decent wage, work one place, go home and get a good night's rest.
Yeah, and have a life. We talked to Catherine Watt from CNET, and she said the unemployment rate's probably more around 20% when you're talking about underemployed. I mean, so it's much higher than what we're actually saying. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right, let's take a quick break, guys. If you haven't left us a review on your podcast platform of choice, please do so. We love to hear from you.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
All right, guys, let's talk some layoffs, shall we? Of our
layoffs,
Warren Act.
Layoffs. That's right. In 2025, tech layoffs persist, with over 22,000 job cuts so far, peaking at 16,234 just in February. That's per our friends at layoffs.fyi. Companies like Rivian, Bumble, Clue, Google, Intel, Airtime, Microsoft slash jobs to boost efficiency and fund AI, impacting HR's talent strategies and exacerbating infinite workday risks. Chad, your thoughts on all the layoffs that are going on these days?
Just the mess continues. I mean, we take a look at dumping hundreds of thousands of federal white collar workers into the mess that's already there with tech workers, because we had huge companies like Facebook, who literally were hoarding talent, not even using them. They were literally just pools of talent that they didn't want their competitors to have. And then when the market needed to be skinny down a little bit, they just dumped them back on. The only way that we're going to fix this is to retool how we look at work and the workforce and actually the workforce economy in itself, and how we drive and build an economy. The way that we're doing it now, it's flawed, and it's been flawed for decades, for goodness sake. So we've got to take a different look at how we're doing things. And going back to the Apple and China conversation that we had with Patrick McGee, the way that we get ourselves out of this is companies have to remember they're a part of the community. The community is what feeds them with talent, where they can actually build product and build revenue, right? That's how it works. When companies go to government with their hand out looking for, corporate charity, for God's sakes, that's where things fall down, because then the money doesn't get put into the actual talent to be able to build. And then they start bitching about, well, Germany has and China has. It's like, well, yeah, because you're spending money over there. So we really have to take a look at that. And unfortunately, I don't like to say it, but government's got to get involved, and there've got to be parameters that are built around this. Not to mention CEOs making, 1,500% more than, the guys actually on the manufacturing line is bullshit too. It's just, it's a top down reorganization that we have to take a look at.
Yeah, there's also a narrative that needs to be switched up too, though, right? We've taught people for a very long time: go to college, get a good job, work at a number one. All those people that worked at Facebook.
Yeah,
that was their end game. That's going to get me every job I ever want after this because I got hired at Facebook. Well, that's not true. No. So many people's mental models of career have collapsed. The definition of career has collapsed, and so we have to address that too. Because the employers need to do it. You're right. But even when they start to do that, we also have to have people's eyes and ears opened up to the switch. So it's pretty messy,
Yeah. Playoffs. Yeah. College. So the whole college aspect, it just turned into a money-making model, right? And that's really what screwed us all. We stopped what Ford was talking about in Germany, doing vocational schools. We used to do those.
Yeah.
We used to do those. As a matter of fact, Cummins Engine Company back in Columbus, Indiana, where I live, they actually fund the vocational school and the high schools because they understand they have to support the community. It's just, it's a great example, but it's also great business.
Right. But I'll tell you, last Friday, I did a TikTok because somebody posted and he said, I'm a college grad. My parents don't understand how bad the market is. They don't understand. Would you do a video on it? I was like, sure. So I put up PSA, parents, listen up. Yeah. All of a sudden, 300,000 people viewed it in 2 days. And it's just kids are sending it to their parents. And you should see the comments of what the parents tell them to do. Well, have you walked in the front door yet? And all that great old school advice is just so cringy. Mm-hmm. And it just shows you how messed up it is. That piece of it. I don't know.
I love how JT has a way of humbling us on this show. We think we're so cool, and she comes on with 300,000 people visit.
Well, maybe you should do a few more TikToks, boys. I've only mentioned it a zillion times to you. You'll be stars.
We have a face for radio, JT.
Not true.
Well, the good news is, I guess LinkedIn doesn't have to worry about Bumble Biz taking over the LinkedIn business anytime soon. Don't forget in our space, CB Monster, 390 people laid off. Dice has cut a fourth of its workforce. LinkedIn laid off almost 300 people recently. That impacts our industry as well. It's not just big companies that you're looking at. And if I could be selfish for a little bit, and I'll loop this into a bigger point. Every time these layoffs happen in our industry, I freak out because I go, these are people who listen to our show. What's going to happen to these people? Are they going to leave the industry and never listen to us again? I always think God, we're on this hamster wheel of more listeners, and they leave because they get fired from the industry. So I worry about that. But I'm going to loop this around with if you're a SaaS business and you are focused on seats for your revenue, companies are having a lot fewer seats these days. And if you're like LinkedIn, hey, we charge per seat. Yeah. You might want to rethink your business model because seats are getting fewer and fewer. And so is your revenue if you have a model that is for that. So I expect we'll see a lot of companies in our space that charge per seat, rethink how they do their product, get a lot more serious about brand and building trust and retention with their clients, because there are fewer people at these companies, and you still need to make money, and you're making less because you're on a seat model. That is going to impact a lot of businesses in our space, not just podcasts that are looking to talk to people in our space. Fortunately for us, we have dad jokes, which keep people coming back again and again. All right, guys, what's the difference between a drug dealer and a hooker? The difference between a drug dealer and a hooker.
You got me.
A hooker can wash her crack and sell it over and over.
That's horrible.
See you in England, everybody. We out.
We out.
That's fucking horrible.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know, and yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar, blue, nacho, pepper jack, Swiss. So many cheeses, and not one word. So weird. Anywho, Be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!